Hello, I'm Sarah Agnew. I'm a biblical storyteller and scholar, a poet and liturgist, and I'm a minister in the Uniting Church in Australia. I'm also a creative with MediaCom, and for Lent and Easter this year, I have composed liturgies for L3. L3 began as Lay Leaders Liturgy, and subscribers have found their liturgies shaped by the life and tradition of the Uniting Church, a mainstream and diverse Protestant movement. A core value of the Uniting Church is that we are pilgrims on the way, and that is a way of constant reformation. So L3 has continued to reform in response to your feedback, your needs, and the challenges facing the churches of Jesus. Lent 2023 brings a new name for L3. So we're still calling it L3, but now the L's, the three L's, relate to liturgy, learning, and purposeful life. This reflects the goals of this resource, the ways that we hope it will equip you and your congregation with your worship, your lives together of discipleship. Worship in particular has dramatically changed through the years of COVID and pandemic and all our adaptations, hasn't it? As our whole of life has changed dramatically. In some ways, the changes that we're experiencing with worship have been a speeding up of slow changes that were already underway. We engage in worship, our communal act of worship, in really varied ways now. We gather still in the same building at the same time as communities. We also gather at the same time, but in different locations. Many congregations streaming live the worship that happens in that gathering. And people joining in from home, from hotels or caravan parks, or wherever they happen to be. And we gather in different times and different places, and engage with the same service of worship that's been recorded when the community gathered. Or we might receive materials from our congregation, sermons to read or to listen to, links to videos or music or art, questions to ponder, activities to engage in with those in our households or in our own. So L3 is seeking to equip you for such diverse ways that we participate in the worshipping life of our communities of faith, in the whole life of being a community and people of faith. And we encourage you to adapt for your unique situation what you find in L3. You might send the word for the day or the questions for reflection in your newsletter or email for people to reflect in their worship at home. You might also like to invite folk to contribute to conversation using your social media platforms, in your newsletter or in other ways through the week. From week to week, the structure stays the same with L3, mostly. And as we experiment and adapt for various weeks in service of the story, perhaps you might be inspired to discover ways in which you can adapt the liturgy, the story, to invite renewed engagement with worship and the sacred story and God who is revealed through that story. We'd like to continue the conversation with you through social media. We're hoping to be more present in those platforms and to facilitate conversation. So as you respond creatively and make your adaptations, please do share them. And share what's working for you, what you'd like to see, and what would be helpful for you in your context, what questions and challenges you're facing together. And maybe we can share as communities of faith and encourage and support each other. For now, though, I commend L3, Lent and Easter to you, and may the Spirit inspire and delight you as you and your congregations enter these rich seasons of worship and life together.